brings me to your book title, because that's a worry I think a lot of people have, the idea of tipping from hate to the unthinkable. What are you worried that we're heading towards, and how do we keep from going there?
Well, look, I mean, the unthinkable is I would go to shul on a Saturday morning and end up held hostage for 12 hours. The unthinkable is that my wife would go to a kosher supermarket and suddenly she could be shot and killed by an evil black Hebrew Israelite. You go to a kosher supermarket and suddenly she could be shot and killed by an evil black Hebrew Israelite. Evil black Hebrew Israelite. Evil black Hebrew Israelite. And suddenly she could be shot and killed by an evil black Hebrew Israelite. The unthinkable is that a college town like Charlottesville an evil black Hebrew Israelite.
Shalom, all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakha, Qudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well, making the word and doctrine, shalom and peace. May that be unto the elect. Now just a few words on the evil black Hebrew Israelite rhetoric and such. Now obviously, if that was a genuine thing that happened by a singular so-called Hebrew Israelite, then they're going off. But the point is, it's rather the impact that has on us in terms of I hate using the term, but a so-called movement, a nation of a certain spiritual belief. Right, it's 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, so pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Right, so the warfare that we're trying to partake in is a spiritual warfare. It's not warfare is understood by the world. We're not trying to take up guns. We're not trying to start violence. We're simply trying to preach the gospel, the truth. Ephesians 6:10-12. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Let's look at that word, wiles. Because like it says in that video, if we were upon, was it PBS, talking about a singular act of violence, and we refer to that person as an evil, then their colour, then their belief system or ethnicity. Would we be able to stand on there telling black people, Israelite people are just scared of this and that because of what this evil these evil are doing? Come on, man. Anything somewhat similar, whether in the world's eyes justifiable. Because some will say, that's justifiable. Look at the oppression of these so-called black people. It's still going to get taken down. So it really shows you who is what that we're disrespected like that, man.
Strong's G 3180. Methodiah.
Cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery. Right, so it's crafty to put when you assume, the only time you hear about Jake in the faith or around the faith, anything to do with the faith, it's either extremist or it's evil. So that's a cunning art, that's trickery. So that's when people think of Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, they think, oh, those extreme evil black people. When you've got many people that don't look like so-called black people, or wouldn't be described as, even myself. My family come from, or my father's come from Jamaica, innit? But I don't have that physical phenotype. So imagine, and that's a cut to all the idea that all 12 tribes are black. But you'll say that I'm a Jake. So if I take pale-skinned or what you wouldn't class as looking like an Israelite to wife. My son does the same, my son does the same, his son does the same, Yeah, they're gonna end up looking not so-called black. But you wanna put that enchantment out there, man. Black, evil black, evil black, evil, extremist black Hebrew, Right, and that whole black, yeah, if you get blacklisted, no one wants to deal with you. Yeah, if you're feeling, if it's a melancholy, I believe that's, yeah, even that, well, it must do melanin, yeah, melancholy, melanin. It's the idea of being black or dark. Let's look it up. Melancholy, mental disorder characterized by sullenness, gloom, irritability, and propensity to cause us in violent anger. Yeah, what? From Old French melancholie, black bile. Yeah, black bile. Ill disposition, anger, annoyance, from Latin melancholia, and it's a sadness, literally excess of black bile. Right, excess of black bile. So putting that black word out there. What else? Let's think. If you blackmail someone, yeah, you're not just emailing them pictures of Negroes. Right. So if you're blackmailing, what you're doing, you're using something against someone in a negative way. Right. So someone might have done something unfavorable. You say, right, if you keep doing that, I'm going to tell this person that you did that. Yeah, that's so-called blackmail. Also, I wanted to touch on this again. Yeah, if that case is real, which a lot of it does look shifty, and apparently that's, yeah, to say that an event in you've been caught red-handed too many times to make out like every single mainstream media outlet is the most reliable source of undeniable truth. Yeah, there's nothing, people aren't anti this and that to say, oh, well, that this looks sketchy. Yeah, they say that about everything. A lot of people said it about about all manner of groups, man. So it's not just you. Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So the oppression, yeah, Jake's going through fucking oppression, man. Yeah, so his head's not in the right place, he's under the curses. He's bugged the fuck out. And a gift, yeah, when you get being treated favourably, or given that token of inclusion or whatever, it destroys your heart. You start thinking, oh man, yeah, maybe he loves me. You know, maybe I'll rule and reign with him. Ain't that gonna happen, man. Right, but this demonization, you know, is being pushed out there. Yeah, so when they push the charagma and everything, is who's in opposition of it? Oh, it says extreme, evil, racist, violent, You set it up nicely, man. You gotta commend him for his work, man. His left-handed work, he's good at it. He's good at what he does. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, but the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. Yes, faithful unto death, man. Sirach 4:28 says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi shall fight for thee. Right, so you really got to understand, a lot of people don't understand what they're involved in. But the scriptures about, you know, being beheaded for the witness, and the amount of oppression, and Jacob's trouble. You can't forget these things, man. Not every day is it a Hebrew Israelite fashion show. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So what's the word of the Lord's patience? This truth. Right, the hour of temptation, that's when they're pushing out the charagma. Yeah, but it's getting closer. And you're seeing various things getting put into place for the demonization to really, pick up. certain events here and there, and they're not all happening at once, but they happen over a short period of time. So they can say, well, back here this happened, and 6 months after that this happened. Yeah, it's all being set up. Being set up by E, but ultimately who's setting up? The Heavenly Father. Alright, evil black Hebrew Israelites. Alright, Deuteronomy 28:37 says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations, where the Yahawah shall lead thee. Let's look at some of these words here. Astonishment, Shema. Waste, horror, appalment, waste of land, city, etc., appalment, horror. Astonishment, proverb is a mashal, proverb, parable, proverb, proverbial saying, e.g., you want to hide something from a Negro, put it in a book. Aphorism, byword, similitude, parable, poem, sentences of ethical wisdom, ethical maxims. Don't be like a Jake. Shnayana, Shnayana, sharp word, sharp cutting word, taunt, jibe. Well, yeah, that word black is a black ball, blacklisted, black male. Yeah, there's many. But anyway, that's just a few words on evil black Hebrew Israelite, giving all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Shalom.